You're running down a dark, endless hallway. No matter how fast you go, something is always behind you, closing in. You wake up just as it's about to catch you, your heart racing, only to find yourself back in that same nightmare night after night. Sound familiar? Recurring nightmares can be incredibly unsettling, far more intense than an occasional bad dream. They feel all too real, almost like they're trying to tell you something, leaving you rattled even after you wake up. But why do some dreams refuse to leave us alone? Recurring nightmares differ from regular dreams in that they often repeat the same disturbing scenarios over and over, making it hard to escape the emotional turmoil they bring. Whether it's an unresolved fear, emotional stress, or even something more spiritual, these nightmares can stem from a variety of sources. And here's where things get interesting. While science offers explanations tied to psychology and brain function, there are also metaphysical theories that suggest these dreams may carry deeper, spiritual meanings. In this video, we're going to explore both the scientific and spiritual reasons behind recurring nightmares. From emotional trauma to karmic lessons, you'll discover why your mind keeps dragging you back into the same disturbing dreamscapes. Stick around to uncover the most compelling theories that might just help you understand what's really going on when your nightmares won't let go. 1. Unresolved trauma. Nightmares often feel like the mind's theater for unresolved trauma. Imagine a scene where you're stuck reliving moments that shake your very core, like an emotional replay that refuses to stop. For people who've experienced trauma, especially those with PTSD, their subconscious might be working overtime, dragging distressing events into their dreams. It's not just a haunting memory, it's your brain's way of trying to process, to make sense of it all when you're at your most vulnerable, asleep. That's why these nightmares feel so vivid, so personal, and disturbingly real. Psychologically speaking, when trauma isn't fully resolved, it buries itself deep within the subconscious, waiting to be addressed. Nightmares might be the only outlet the mind has to deal with these emotional ghosts. Studies have shown that those dealing with severe emotional wounds are more prone to experiencing recurring nightmares as their brain tries to sort through the chaos. It's not just fear, it's unresolved emotions rising to the surface. The mind, in these moments, becomes both your battlefield and your guide, showing you what needs to be healed. If you've ever woken up in a cold sweat, heart pounding, and wondering why these images won't leave you, it's possible that your mind is urging you to confront what's been buried for too long. Many who face these recurring nightmares often find that therapeutic approaches, like trauma-focused therapy, can help. Techniques like EMDR or cognitive behavioral therapy can guide the healing process, ensuring that the brain no longer has to shout through nightmares to get your attention. And here's where it gets even more intriguing. 2. Emotional dysregulation. Nightmares aren't just scary dreams, they can be emotional mazes, especially for those struggling with emotional dysregulation. Picture emotions like waves, crashing in unpredictable directions when they're out of control. When someone has difficulty managing intense feelings like anger, guilt, or deep sadness, these emotions may leak into their dreams, creating a storm of vivid, recurring nightmares. It's almost as if the subconscious picks up where the conscious mind left off, attempting to make sense of these overpowering emotions during sleep. Research suggests that the more emotionally dysregulated a person feels in their waking life, the more likely they are to experience nightmares. The brain is an intricate system that processes both external and internal stimuli, and when someone is overwhelmed, it finds ways to cope. Unfortunately, that coping sometimes takes place in the form of disturbing dreams, where the mind confronts unresolved feelings in a heightened, surreal manner. It's no surprise that those who deal with intense emotional swings often find themselves waking up shaken, their minds having traveled through the raw, unfiltered landscape of their subconscious. There's good news, though. Addressing emotional regulation can significantly reduce the frequency and intensity of these nightmares. Techniques like mindfulness and emotional regulation therapy can help individuals process emotions more healthily, creating a calmer internal world. This, in turn, impacts the dream state, where the mind no longer feels the need to battle these emotions. As one gains emotional balance, the nightmares can lose their grip, but there's more to this story. 3. Psychodynamic conflict. From a Freudian perspective, recurring nightmares are like windows into the unconscious mind. Imagine these dreams as cryptic messages, your brain's way of communicating unresolved inner conflicts, buried fears, or suppressed desires. It's not uncommon for recurring nightmares to feature symbolic scenarios, chasing shadows, falling into darkness, or facing something unknown, that represent struggles from within. These dreams might not always make sense on the surface, but their roots run deep into the psyche, often revealing more than the conscious mind dares to confront. In the psychodynamic world, nightmares could be your mind's attempt to balance inner conflicts. Freud believed that suppressed feelings, whether they're unresolved guilt, unspoken desires, or hidden fears, seek expression, and dreams offer the perfect arena for that. These recurring nightmares are the unconscious mind's way of grappling with issues that may have been repressed for years, surfacing in a symbolic form. It's almost like the dream is a riddle, and solving it could reveal hidden truths about yourself that you weren't even aware of. Unlocking the meaning of these dreams requires a closer look at the symbols within them. Dream analysis can be a powerful tool to decode what your subconscious is trying to communicate. Journaling your dreams, paying attention to recurring themes, or even speaking with a psychotherapist can help bring these hidden conflicts to light. It's about exploring those deeper layers of the mind, but once you start uncovering what's been lurking beneath the surface, something even more profound comes into play. 4. Environmental triggers. Recurring nightmares don't always originate from within, they can be triggered by your external environment. Think of your mind as a sponge, constantly absorbing the world around you, even when you're not fully aware of it. Things like sudden noise, temperature changes, or even stress from daily life can seep into your subconscious and influence the dreams you experience. If your sleep environment is chaotic or unsettling, your brain may amplify these disturbances, turning them into a series of disturbing and repetitive nightmares. Research supports the idea that environmental triggers, such as trauma reminders or stressful events, can activate the brain's fear response, even during sleep. It's almost as though the subconscious is hyper-aware, processing everything happening around you, from the faintest creak in the house to the temperature dropping a few degrees. These seemingly small triggers might not affect you during the day, but at night, when your guard is down, they can transform into vivid and distressing dream sequences. It's the brain's way of making sense of the chaos in your surroundings. But what can you do to minimize these external triggers? Creating a peaceful sleep environment can make a world of difference. Invest in calming routines before bed, like listening to soothing music, using essential oils like lavender, or even making sure your bedroom is the right temperature. Small changes in your environment can shift the way your brain processes information during sleep, reducing the likelihood of nightmares. Yet, sometimes, even with the perfect sleep setup, something deeper is at play. 5. Unresolved karmic lessons. In many spiritual traditions, recurring nightmares aren't just psychological, they're tied to the soul's journey. Imagine these nightmares as echoes from past lives, resurfacing to teach lessons your spirit hasn't fully integrated. According to karmic beliefs, each soul carries unresolved lessons from one life to the next, and these lessons may appear in dreams, urging you to face what's been left undone. These nightmares, filled with symbolic or even bizarre imagery, are the soul's reminder that spiritual growth is necessary for true peace. Karmic nightmares are believed to represent deep, unresolved patterns, often recurring until the lesson is fully learned. From a metaphysical perspective, these dreams could symbolize experiences that your soul has not yet reconciled. You might dream of places you've never been or events that feel strangely familiar, yet you can't explain why. It's as if your subconscious is pulling from a well of past life memories, urging you to confront unfinished business that lingers on a soul level. The key is recognizing these patterns and being open to the possibility that your soul is communicating with you. So how can you resolve these karmic lessons? Practices like meditation, past life regression therapy, or working with a spiritual guide can help uncover the root of these karmic connections. By addressing the deeper spiritual issues at play, you may find that these nightmares slowly fade, allowing you to move forward on your soul's journey. But when it comes to the soul, there's even more to discover, especially when fragments of the self remain lost. 6. Soul fragmentation. In shamanic traditions, recurring nightmares are often seen as signs of soul fragmentation, a condition where parts of the soul split off due to trauma or intense emotional wounds. Imagine your soul as a beautiful tapestry, and each trauma is like a tear in that fabric, leaving fragments scattered. When these pieces become lost, it's believed that they manifest in your nightmares, calling out for recognition and healing. These dreams can be filled with haunting images, strange symbols, or even repetitive scenes, all of which are cries from the fragmented parts of yourself seeking to return. Soul fragmentation is more than just a metaphor, it's a deep spiritual wound that can leave individuals feeling incomplete. When traumatic experiences occur, parts of the soul are thought to detach, leaving behind a sense of emptiness or disconnection. Nightmares may arise as a way to signal that something vital is missing, urging the dreamer to undergo a soul retrieval process. This ancient healing practice, often performed by shamans, seeks to restore the lost pieces, bringing balance and wholeness back to the individual. Without this healing, the nightmares persist, a constant reminder of the soul's incompleteness. But how can someone reclaim these lost pieces? Engaging in practices like guided meditation, soul retrieval sessions, or working with a healer can initiate the process of reintegrating these lost fragments. By restoring these pieces, the nightmares often dissipate, replaced by a sense of spiritual wholeness. Yet, even after healing the soul's fragmentation, stress and anxiety in daily life can keep nightmares lurking in the background. 7. Chronic stress and anxiety. Recurring nightmares can often be traced back to the daily pressures of chronic stress and anxiety. Picture your mind as a tightly wound spring. Over time, without release, the tension builds, and at night, it uncoils in the form of disturbing dreams. Stress is like a silent architect of nightmares, shaping your fears, worries, and unresolved anxieties into terrifying dreamscapes. Whether it's the pressure of work, relationships, or financial strain, your mind works overtime to process these emotions, often spilling into your sleep. Studies have shown a strong link between high levels of stress and the occurrence of nightmares. Anxiety, in particular, activates the brain's fight-or-flight response, even when you're asleep. This heightened state of alertness creates a fertile ground for disturbing dreams, where the brain tries to cope with overwhelming emotions. Nightmares then become a mirror, reflecting the inner turmoil of your waking life, only exaggerated through the lens of your subconscious. Waking up from these dreams often leaves you feeling more exhausted, as if your mind has been running a marathon through the night. To break free from these stress-induced nightmares, it's crucial to incorporate stress relief practices into your daily routine. Activities like deep breathing exercises, mindfulness meditation, or even journaling before bed can help your brain unwind and reduce the likelihood of recurring nightmares. Managing stress isn't just about mental well-being, it can also transform the quality of your sleep. And once you begin addressing these stressors, you might find that your nightmares start to fade. But as stress subsides, another layer of spiritual significance could be revealed. 8. Spiritual awakening or growth. For those on a spiritual journey, recurring nightmares can signify a profound awakening or transformation. Imagine your subconscious as a vast ocean, with nightmares being the waves that churn as deep, hidden aspects of yourself rise to the surface. During spiritual growth, your mind may use dreams to release old fears, outdated beliefs, or unresolved emotions, almost like a cleansing process. These nightmares, while unsettling, could be a sign that you're shedding layers of your past self, preparing for a higher state of consciousness. As you expand your awareness and connect with deeper spiritual realms, the subconscious often mirrors this growth through intense dreams. Nightmares during a spiritual awakening can feel like a purge, where your mind confronts limiting beliefs, unresolved karmic lessons, or fears that no longer serve you. It's almost as if the universe is using your dream state to prepare you for a transformation, a rebirth of sorts. Although terrifying in the moment, these nightmares may represent your soul's way of pushing through the darkness to embrace the light. To navigate these spiritually charged nightmares, practices such as meditation, dream journaling, and shadow work can help process the intense emotions and revelations that emerge. As you face these dream experiences head-on, the nightmares may begin to transform, revealing deeper insights into your personal and spiritual growth. Once you realize these dreams are part of your awakening, they become less frightening and more enlightening. Yet, the journey doesn't end here. Before you go, think about what you've just learned. These recurring nightmares might feel like they're beyond your control, but understanding the reasons behind them can empower you to take action. Whether it's unresolved trauma, emotional overwhelm, or even deeper, spiritual forces like past life karma or soul fragmentation, each nightmare offers a clue to something bigger. Have you noticed certain patterns in your dreams? Perhaps it's time to explore these hidden meanings and start healing what lies beneath. Which of these reasons resonates most with you? Do you think your nightmares are linked to unresolved trauma, emotional dysregulation, or something more spiritual? Drop a comment below and let us know. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel and activate notifications so you don't miss out on more insights like these. Continue expanding your consciousness by watching the recommended video that you see on the screen right now.